Hello everyone, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. I am an inspiring author who is very much in love with science fiction, and I just completed my first draft of my first science fiction novel. And this is the first video in a series. I haven't figured out a title for it yet, but it's basically me editing my first draft. And originally I had decided to do a chapter a week, but this past week I actually got a lot done. So I actually edited chapter 1 and 2, and I ended up splitting chapter 1 into 2 chapters because it was just way too long for one chapter in my opinion. So I am keeping my schedule as a chapter a week just in case, because chapter 2 originally, the original chapter 2 before I split chapter 1, was very short, and when I was rereading it I really liked the flow and I really liked what I had written. So I kept a lot, but I added a lot as well. I mainly added changes to names that I decided I wanted to change, changes to equipment that I thought sounded a lot better and more in the realm of the sci-fi I wanted to depict. And then I added names for characters I had just kind of left as their last name. So yeah, I added that, and then I changed, like, one of the characters was supposed to have like a name revealed that, oh, I'm actually this person, and then I decided that because of how I had written later chapters, I decided that I didn't actually like that anymore. It did work with the story, but I decided that it was maybe a little too much, so I changed that. So I mainly changed a lot of things, didn't really take away as much as I thought it was going to take away. I think chapter 3, the old chapter 3, new chapter 4, this is going to be really confusing for me as well as probably you. The old chapter 3 I disliked when I wrote it, so I know that I'm not going to like it anyways. So I know I'm going to take away a lot and change a lot. Yeah, I just didn't like the flow of how everything went. There's a whole section that I marked and said, I added a note, I was like, please rewrite this, and I just never got around to it because I was really focused on finishing the first draft. And if you watch my older vlogs, you kind of know that I'm an editor through and through. I love just editing things instead of writing them. And so I kind of had to like really control myself there. But yeah, so I'm really happy with the work that I got done this last week. I also started reading a new book, and by new I mean new to me. I started reading Hyperion by Dan Simmons, and it's definitely very weird. I really enjoy old science fiction because, I don't know, something about it just sticks with me. I mean, a lot more than newer science fiction. Of course I do like new science fiction. The Expanse is one of my favorite series right now, but in the book I'm writing, I am trying to pull from older science fiction, and I really like retrofuturism, if that's still the term for it. But yeah, I'm still very inspired by retrofuturism, and I want to reflect that in my story without fully ripping from some of the older sci-fi. I'm using like a mix of very futuristic and then retrofuturism, and I really like that. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's just something I really like. So that's another thing that I implemented in the beginning chapters. I changed a few names of the equipment that I thought was cooler, I guess. It's really hard because it feels like all equipment in sci-fi is named like 3 things, and so in my mind I was just going over the 3 things that I've read before, and I like the name that I chose for some of the equipment. And yeah, I actually think that because I forgot to mention that I had, or maybe I did mention it previously, I can't remember. My memory is kind of horrible, that's why I ramble so much. But I did edit chapter 1, original chapter 1, the long chapter. I want to say a couple months ago, because I was having one of my husband's friends read it. So I did edit it. That's hard to say. And so that was really easy for me to go through. Like I said, I only cut it to make 1 chapter into 2, and then I changed names of people, equipment, and stuff like that. So, and I added a few details about the life on the space station, because chapter 1, now chapter 2, chapter 2, it's mainly on the space station. So I did add a little bit more of the world building into that, and I really liked what I added. So I got quite a bit done this week. I'm really excited to start on chapter 3. Well, part of me is excited and part of me is dreading trying to rewrite the sections that I hated. It's like exciting because now I get to add more of what I wanted originally that I just kind of added notes for, but then also I want to make sure it matches the previous chapters and the chapters after it, because that chapter 3 is just so bad. I think it's like the weakest chapter, and so that's a little bit of a heavy burden, but that said, I still am excited about writing it, and it's a weird mix of I don't want to do it, but I'm really excited to do it, if that makes sense. I'm sure a lot of you know what I'm talking about. It's just so yeah, that's a lot of what I got done this week. A lot more than I thought. Because chapter 3, original chapter 3 is going to be kind of, I'm hoping it's not going to be too hard, but because it might be, I'm gonna keep it as chapter 3 for this coming week. If somehow I'm able to totally rework the chapter to where it is beautiful golden second draft material, then maybe I will take a look at the old chapter 4. But if not, I'm just gonna leave chapter 3 for this week. So yeah, I have my Substack book review going out tomorrow. I do it every first Sunday of the month. Unfortunately, I only really read 1 book last month and got almost all the way through the manga that I'm reading. I waited such a long time for this volume to come out, so I sort of am dragging my feet with it because I don't want to have to wait a long time again. Yeah, so I really only read 1 book, and so it's going to be a really short blog post. I might also write about finishing my first draft and going through and editing for the second draft and all that. So if you're interested, I do keep the link in my description for my Substack. That's it for today. I'm going to wrap up editing and finish writing my blog. It's basically done. I tried to write the review within a couple of days after finishing the book, and I've been taking notes as I go, so it really helps me remember exactly things that I want to talk about. So yeah, I just have to finish rereading it and making sure it looks good to publish. I did reread it recently, but now that that's going to be the only thing on there, I gotta make sure that everything looks good. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then just take the rest of the day to relax and get ready to edit the dreaded chapter 3. So thank you so much for watching, and hopefully this type of setup works. I'm gonna put like most, if not all, of the non-talking segments at the beginning and then a chatty segment at the end. You would rather have it mixed, please let me know, or one or the other. Very much experimenting with doing these vlogs. They've been really fun for me, so thank you so much for watching. And I'm sorry if I was a little bit rambly. I've been very rambly today, and I don't know why. As always, it feels like whenever I record, I need to talk about 10 million things. So thank you so much for watching again. That was like the third time I said it. I'm sorry. I'll see you guys next time. Stay safe as always, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day, great weekend, great week whenever I see you again. All right, bye.